I, 34 male, want to save my marriage of 12 years to my wife, 32 female. Do you think I should keep trying?
Okay, let's do some math. So they've been married for 12 years, 34 and 32. So they got married with...
Okay, let's get into it. I'll skip that first sentence. Quick breakdown of our relationship. We met when we were 17 and 19. So they've been together longer than that. Okay. We dated for 2.5 years, got married, and have been for 12.5 years. They've been together since they were 17. They've been together for 17 years. Or 15 years. 15
you are
years,
a completely different person from 17 to 34.
Absolutely. 15 years of relationship.
19 to 34. 17 to 32. Yeah.
Ridiculous. Okay. It looks like it's a lot, so it probably gets worse. All right, 12.5 years. So the first 8 years were bad. You stayed with someone for 8 years and it was bad. Okay. I was depressed. It's a testament to her that she stayed. Okay.
A testament to her lack of self-esteem?
Because she was 17 and you were 19. That's why. Okay. We'd get to a bad spot, talk, I try hard, then try less every day, and eventually end up bad again. Okay, he's admitting he's a terrible person. Great. All right, during that period, we had 3 kids.
Oh, God.
But our first passed away from SIDS at 7 weeks old. So y'all have trauma, too. You have children and trauma. Okay, good. Awesome. Great. All right, after those 8 years, we separated for 6 months. You should not have gotten back together, but separated for 6 months, but began spending time together when I came out of my depression with the kids, eating dinners as a family, game nights, etc. You shouldn't have. We rekindled and had 2 amazing years together, okay, which led to 2 more kids.
Oh, God.
She got bad postpartum after the youngest. To add to this, we sold our house right before they were born. Had to live with her brother for 4 months while we found the house we live in now. A lot of stress coupled with financial strain and postpartum, it'll shut most people down. This is so ridiculous. Y'all had 5 kids.
Oh my God.
And one of them died. And it was a bad marriage to begin with. Okay.
They should have stopped and called it quits after the first child passed.
They shouldn't have even gotten married.
They should have gotten married.
Or had children.
You're right.
Wow, okay. Anyway, during her depression, things like date nights and hanging out became very difficult. I was trying to respect her depression and not push her, especially because I know from experience how overwhelming it can be. I had tried to make some happen, but she would get agitated often. This eventually became the norm. It's currently October, and in December of last year, we had a talk about our state of things, and she said she wanted to be done, but that blindsided me. Why did that blindside you? Okay. I initiated that talk to help us get better. She felt like we were falling into the same pattern we did before we separated the first time, and told herself when we got back together that if we got bad, she was done. That's fair. That makes sense.
Good for her.
Yeah. Boundaries. Okay. Damn, it's long. Okay. I convinced her that this time I wasn't at all the same because it mostly postpartum, and we were done with kids at this point. Yeah, that's on your half, not her. Okay, whatever. You're telling her how she should feel because she's not postpartum anymore? Okay, whatever. Over the next 6 months, I tried hard. I've been in therapy since my depression, and my sessions became entirely about how to communicate with her more effectively. She, on the other hand, could never let go of the feeling we were stuck in a cycle and couldn't commit. Early June or late May, we had another talk, and she said she was done. I reluctantly agreed because I told her that she decided to be done. I'd respect it. That was weird. Okay.
She probably meant to say if.
Yeah, if she decided I'd be done. Right. I respect that. Fast forward to early September, we had already laid plans for how to separate officially and had been putting distance between us. No intimacy, very little time together. It's at this time that I found out before our final talk she had gotten close to a coworker who was in a similar situation, confided in them and slept with them, and is still seeing them. This news devastated me. In the following week, we had many talks about our relationship and what went wrong, and in these, I asked why she didn't want to do all the fun things we used to do anymore. She told me that she did, she just thought I didn't want to because I didn't initiate them anymore. This was more devastating than finding out about the other person, such an easy fix to our problem we had we known. Talk to your significant other, people, learn from this. Okay. She is currently living with me due to financial reasons and the kids, but we plan to have one of us move in late December. Upon finding out that we both wanted to do the same things but thought the other didn't, it changes everything about what we thought about our relationship and the position of the other. This reignited my drive to rekindle what we had for those 2 years that were great. What? Okay.
Oh,
So, however, she seems convinced that this that it's still the same cycle we were in and can't seem to get over this and seems terrified to repeat it. Despite this, she talks and gives cues as though it's actually what she does want. To add a bit of oh my god, this is so much. Okay. To add a bit of context to the other person, she was not intimate with me after that and shortly after we had the talk. It wasn't planned and she displays tremendous guilt over it. I personally am willing to overlook this because of the situation and where we were when it happened. Maybe this is unwise and it will be an issue of trust, but what we had, in my opinion, worth this. At this point, I'm living day to day in a lot of torment and I have no idea how to act. She is also very conflicted and still talks and sees the other person, which adds to her conflict. I know she loves me, but up until a month ago, she had spent 3 months building that relationship and doesn't like the idea of dropping it for a chance at us because she's convinced we will be bad in a few years and separate then anyway.
She's probably right.
So she's extremely torn. I can tell that if she could just drop the feelings for the other person and knew we would be fine, she would be in an instant. But we cannot drop the feelings we have, and she's very unconvinced. So I understand her diploma and honesty. I don't know. She has my sympathy. We have began to hang out and do the fun things at home, and we have a day set aside to go hang out this weekend. Despite everything, she and I are still best friends and enjoy being around one another, more conflicting in day to day. I honestly...
Such a hot mess.
This is hot mess. I honestly have no idea what to do. I want to save our marriage, but I suspect that it's a little too late at this point. I don't expect to be able to, but I want to. I know she also has to want to. I'm unsure anyone here can give sound advice, but just maybe it happens and I'm desperate. I could easily just let it all go. If it happens later, it happens. Or maybe I met someone new or I enjoy being single. But I love her deeply and I love being with her. If I don't know if
being alone.
Yeah. If I don't know if you come in and just bash her, I'll ignore it, blah blah blah. She's an amazing person, blah blah blah. Okay.
Sure, but she's living with you and having an affair with somebody else.
Yes. Okay, so oh my god, this is so much. First of all, they should have never gotten married to begin with. They should have just dated as teenagers and then got broken up
gone
and
their separate ways.
It would have been fine. But they decided to stay together and then have a bad marriage and have children in that bad marriage. Then they decided they had broken up and were like separated for 6 months, but then got back together and then had only 2 years. This whole relationship only had 2 good years. Okay, then they have problems again, and then she cheats on him, and she's happy. She likes this other person she's cheating with, but is conflicted because of the relationship she's had in this marriage. Obviously,
she's locked in. She doesn't have any money. She's have to live with him for financial reasons. They've got a bunch of kids who I'm sure their kids are going to be on Reddit in like 5 to 10 years from now being like, I don't know what to do but my fucked up parents.
For real. They need to get a divorce. Like, why are y'all together?
Yeah, no, just get
out. She needs to figure out her financial situation and get out and move out in December. Whoever's going to move out, split the custody. If you guys are amicable, that's great because that's good for the kids.
It is good for the kids.
Y'all stay friendly.
Maybe get some family support if it's available. Yeah. But
she is going to date this person and it's a rebound and it will go nowhere and she'll probably find someone else after this. Maybe that's more a better fit. But she needs to she's probably never been in a relationship outside of this relationship.
No.
17?
If she was 17, this is probably her first relationship. And so, yeah, no.
8 years were bad. The first 8 years were bad.
Why did you do that?
That's crazy to me. The first 8 years. That's wild. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about this other than y'all should break up.
See what other people. Marriage counseling? I don't know. It seems a little too far gone at this point.
And he's not even interested.
No. That's
crazy. They haven't even thought of wanting to do that. That's wild. I think the first thing to do is understand whether you are on the same page as your wife. Does she still want to make this relationship work with you? Speaking from a woman's perspective, she may have emotionally checked out years ago, unfortunately, but before she decided to get close to her coworker, which seems to be the case. She says she's torn. Maybe it's because she feels like nothing will change if you both get back together. Speak to her about it and see if you can try and understand what she wants from this relationship with you, if it is to work. If you can establish or come to an understanding that you want to at least try, she has to be honest and stop talking to anyone else and commit to making this work. At least you know you tried. Original poster responds, "We have had a lot of talks. That's where my assessment of her position is from. And yes, she did begin to check out at the end of last year, and that's what led the conversation in December. I believe she went through 9 to 10 months since believing I wasn't interested, but our talk a month ago revealed we both were. So she's torn because what we had, she seems to also want based down how she talks."
How do you go 9 to 10 months and assume the other person is not interested and not talk about it?
That is crazy. Also, he keeps bringing up the postpartum. I'm convinced it can be because it did wonderfully for years, then postpartum threw in a wrench, and that led to this. She isn't convinced, but it's clear she wants to be. That's the primary crux. He keeps bringing up the postpartum, and I'm like, you guys had a bad marriage to begin with.
Yeah.
So it's not about the postpartum.
No, the postpartum was just extra.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like the main problem. And yeah, I feel like guys are usually convinced that postpartum is like...
It's basically is like blaming it on hormones.
Yes.
Well, her hormones were like out of whack, so
but
like,
other than that, everything
it was fine.
Would be great.
Even though I was an asshole for 8 years and I didn't really try very hard, and
he's hanging on to the 2 years that were like
good.
He says were great, but they were probably just mediocre.
Yeah, they probably were just mediocre, honestly. Yeah. I'm like, y'all just need to break up.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
And find a new relationships and be better in those relationships. Like, you can improve on yourself with other people.
Staying in a bad relationship for the sake of the children is actually doing them a huge disservice.
It's huge. Your kids should see their parents happy.
Yeah.
Not struggling and hating each other.
No.
And now they're going to grow up and they're going to get in relationships that are bad because that's the example they've seen.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. No, I don't think so. Oh, there's only one response.
Oh, is this fairly new?
No, is it? Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Like a couple hours ago, yeah.
You always choose ones that are so new.
I prefer that. I don't want things old. I don't want it. Okay?
Okay.
Well, that's our perspective.
Get a divorce.
Get a divorce.
If you think you should get a divorce, then you should probably get a divorce.
Probably get a divorce.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've tried that much, this was a lot of trying and a lot of time. I'm like, it's over. Let it go. She's already moved on, basically.
Yeah.
Like,
it's okay to let things go.
and there's going to be weird feelings and lingering feelings about, like, the relationship and not wanting to let go. That's natural, but it doesn't mean you should stay together.
I think people have this weird sort of, like, failure hang-up about getting a divorce, but it actually kind of admits that a strength, knowing that you made a mistake and you're willing to accept that mistake and move on.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Okay.
That's our opinion. Thanks for watching. See y'all on the next one.